the WBC heavyweight champion of the world, the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury, had been accused of ducking the Ukrainian sensation, the current undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Alexander Usyk. My personal opinion is that I do believe personally that yes, Tyson Fury, either intentionally or unintentionally, consciously or unconsciously, is actually ducking Alexander Usyk. The reason why that is the case is because there was so many instances where these fighters could have actually made this fight happen, but Tyson Fury had always been the problem. Like Tyson Fury has always been the reason why the fight wasn't happening. They got to a situation where Alexander Usyk literally accepted 70-30 cut, so he's willing to take a 30% cut whilst giving Tyson Fury the lion's share, which is 70%. But Fury didn't want to accept it. And then, obviously, what Usyk said was that I'll take 30 and you'll take 70. And if we did a rematch, then we'll both get 50-50. So that's essentially, if Usyk beats Tyson Fury and they do a rematch, then Usyk's going to have 50%, just basically an equal share, right? Tyson Fury was like, no, he wasn't going to have it. Think about that. That's a fair deal. But I think the reason why the fight wasn't happening is the fact that Tyson Fury was looking for an easier fight. So because he was looking for an easier fight, now he's got it in Francis Ngannou. So instead of fighting a professional boxer who is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, now he's fighting an MMA fighter. So this really just demonstrates to us that Tyson Fury is scared of Alexander Usyk. He's scared of Anthony Joshua. He's not looking for a hard fight. He's looking for a fight that is so easy. Any fights like the ones he had against Derek Chisora, that's an easy fight. He's already beaten the guy twice and then fought him again and beat him the third time. Dillian White, there's not much of a difference in terms of his fighting style with Derek Chisora. So he knows that was going to be an easy fight as well. Took it and knocked him out cold. But you know what's a hard fight? Alexander Usyk. That's not an easy fight. So he was not willing to take that fight. So instead, he was like, you know what? I'll find an easy fight in boxing. But if I can't find it, why not just fight Francis Ngannou? He's already out of his contract in the UFC. So you know what? Let's see what's going to happen. We probably could make it happen. And he did make it happen for a lot of money. And I've got a lot of stupid people or stupid friends who are constantly claiming that Tyson Fury is the greatest boxer of all time. How many title defenses or title fights has Tyson Fury got? In comparison to the likes of Muhammad Ali, for example, or the likes of George Foreman, how many fights has Tyson Fury had? In comparison to the likes of Sonny Liston, the likes of Jack Dempsey, Joe Frazier, George Foreman, how many fights has he had in comparison to these former heavyweight champions of the world? Not much. But he still claims that he's the greatest heavyweight of all time. Who did he fight? I can only name 2-3 fighters who I would consider as being decent fighters or great fighters that Tyson Fury fought. And Deontay Wilder is really just one of them, to be honest. Who else can you name? Who else can you name that Tyson Fury has beaten that you would consider as being one of the best? Not many. I can only think of Deontay Wilder on the top of my head. That's it. But then he refused to fight Usyk, a fight that would probably cement his claim as being a top contender in terms of like who the greatest fighter of all time is. But nah, he didn't want to take the fight because he knows Usyk is a tough fight. Usyk is a small man in comparison to Tyson Fury, but it's not an easy fight, and he knows that. So he refused to take that fight. He refused to take the Anthony Joshua fight because he knows that's going to be a war. He knows that there's a difference between Anthony Joshua and Dillian White. There's a difference between Anthony Joshua and Derek Chisora. There's a difference between Anthony Joshua and Otto Wallin, or the German guy. There's a huge difference. So he knows that. So that's why he ducked Anthony Joshua. That's why he ducked Alexander Usyk, because it's going to be a hard fight. So he went and took a boxing match with an MMA fighter instead of taking a boxing match with Alexander Usyk or Anthony Joshua. So the guy is not chasing after legacy. He's chasing after money, and he just doesn't want to get beat up. So he's just taking easy fights. That's what he's doing. So the claims that Tyson Fury is the greatest, I think now is the time to get that out of your head, to be honest, because he's not the greatest. Tyson Fury would not rank in my top 15 greatest boxers of all time, not even close to it. I personally would rank Anthony Joshua above Tyson Fury. Yes, Tyson Fury dominated Vladimir Klitschko, but Anthony Joshua finished Vladimir Klitschko. Anthony Joshua has had tougher competition than Tyson Fury. And for the most times that he's been tested, he actually came out on top. Alexander Usyk had been one opponent that gave him trouble and took all his belts, and in a rematch still defeated him. But has Anthony Joshua ever ducked him? No, he hasn't. He fought him, stood toe-to-toe with him. What has Tyson Fury done? Still could not muster the courage to fight Alexander Usyk. So, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, anyways, this fight's going to be taking place in Saudi Arabia. I'm not excited. I'm not looking forward to the fight. I think it's just a cop-out for Tyson Fury, to be honest. It's not going to be an engaging fight. It's not going to be an interesting fight. I really don't care about the fight, to be honest. I'm making this video just to kind of explain really what a pussy Tyson Fury is, to be honest. What a big pussy he is. He had the opportunity, every opportunity to make a great fight happen between him and AJ. We was all expecting it. Bro, the fight was literally announced. You know, I was on social media. I saw it. Everyone was like, yo, well, the fight is happening. Well, 2 weeks later, something happened. They could not agree. Somebody got injured. So the fight never materialized. And then a couple of months ago, the Alexander Usyk fight, we was all excited. It was like, oh yeah, this is going to happen. It's all going to happen. Oh, it was completely wrong. Absolutely wrong. I'm so disappointed in Tyson Fury, mate, because he comes out talking about mental health and, you know, how mental health affected him and all of that. You listen to him because a lot of people out there could relate to what he's preaching, right? But then when it comes to practicing what he's preaching in terms of like that bravery that he's talking about, it seems like there's a lack of that bravery. You know what I mean? If he's talking about toughness, but then when it comes to picking tough fights, he's always ducking tough opponents. But when it comes to easy fights where it's easy money and an easy W, he's always the first person to raise his hand. Oh, I'm going to fight Derek Chisora. Oh, I'm going to fight Dillian White. I'm going to fight Charles Martin. Just the easiest fighters you can ever fight. But when it comes to proper tough fighters who are going to give him proper fight, and fighters who could actually beat him, nah, he doesn't want anything to do with it. So he can't consider himself as being a great fighter if he's not willing to take fights against other fighters who are great. There was a time in the 1980s where you've had the Four Horsemen. You've had Roberto Duran. You've had Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, and Tommy Hearns. Like, all of these people fought one another. Tommy Hearns fought Roberto Duran, knocked him out cold. Duran fought Sugar Ray Leonard twice. Sugar Ray Leonard lost the first fight, and the second fight he won because Roberto Duran just gave up. Roberto Duran fought Marvelous Marvin Hagler. He lost. You know what I mean? These people fought one another. Sugar Ray Leonard fought Hagler in the late 1980s, and he won. These people fought one another. All of them round. Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, Joe Frazier, Sonny Liston. They're all fought one another. Back and forth, back and forth. In today's heavyweight divisions in boxing, not many people are willing to take that risk to fight someone else because you're worried that you might lose. All these nonsense promotions like competing one another, not wanting their fighter to lose and stuff. It takes the tradition and value and sort of like the interest that we've all got in boxing. Do you know what I mean? It's just absolutely ridiculous, honestly, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like it's a waste of my time watching boxing or even talking about boxing. Because every opportunity we got, somebody like Fury or some fighter who's just a total pussy is willing to screw everything all up for us. For what reason? Just pick a fight and just fight the guy. Like, why does it have to be so complicated or complex? The guy literally said, Fury, I am more than willing to take a 30% cut. Think about the disparity between a 70% and 30% cut. So Fury gets 70% of the pay, and Usyk was willing to take 30%, regardless of if he wins or lose. So Usyk then said to Fury, if I beat you, we'll have a rematch In that rematch, I'm willing to do 50-50. Tyson Fury was like, nah, son, I'm not willing to do that, mate. It ain't gonna happen. Really? So who do you think is the problem in this particular context? It's Tyson Fury. And then he's fighting Francis Ngannou. Obviously, we all know that's going to be an easy fight in boxing. It's going to be an easy fight. It's going to be an easy money. I'm glad for Francis Ngannou because he's making some money out of it, to be honest, because he deserves it. He was treated like garbage, just like many UFC fighters. The pace, just absolutely shocking. So him leaving and joining PFL, and then obviously having to fight Tyson Fury in Saudi Arabia, that's going to garner or accumulate him a lot of money. So at least he's not missing anything out in terms of financial gain for leaving the UFC. He's going to make 3, 4, 5 times, 6 times more money in his fight against Fury than he will or has ever made in the UFC. So congratulations to Francis Ngannou. I'm completely happy for him. But Tyson Fury, I'm really disappointed. And please don't call yourself the greatest heavyweight fighter of all time. You're not close to it. Muhammad Ali is a greater fighter than you are. George Foreman, Joe Frazier, Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk, Vladimir Klitschko, Deontay Wilder, the Bronze Bomber. He's fought decent competition. The likes of Jack Dempsey, Sugar Ray Robinson, all of these people are 10 times head and shoulders above you. And to consider yourself as being the greatest heavyweight of all time is kind of an embarrassment to their legacy. So stop it. And stop ducking fighters, honestly. Like, literally, it's a joke, mate. Guys behaving like a pussy, mate. Just pick the fight against Usyk, but now you're fighting Francis Ngannou. For what reason? Like, why? You've got an opportunity, mate. Just take it. But nah, I'm going to fight Francis Ngannou. That's an easier fight. I'm going to fight Derek Chisora. I'm going to fight Dylan White. That's an easier fight. Pick a fight with a proper fighter, someone like Alexander Usyk or someone like Anthony Joshua, and watch what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, what are your thoughts anyways? I appreciate you obviously taking the time to watch it. This video is really unstructured, to be honest. I'm just sitting down, just raging, honestly. Just angry. Really incredibly angry, honestly. It makes no sense. So I just want your opinions on, like, the Fury situation and him taking the fight against Francis Ngannou instead of fighting Alexander Usyk. And who do you think's fault it is for Fury and Usyk not materializing? Is it from Usyk's part or is it from Tyson Fury's part? I just really want to know your opinion, ladies and gentlemen. So it's important to give me your opinions and also subscribe as well. Smash the like button down below and comment as well. I would greatly appreciate that, to be honest. But I honestly, I do believe Tyson Fury is a big pussy. Honestly, like, I really do believe that. Like, what else to say? Instead of fighting your fellow professional boxer who's like 5 inches smaller than you or 6 or 7 inches smaller than you, nah, mate, lads, you're picking a heavyweight mixed martial arts fighter to fight in a boxing ring, someone that you know you're going to beat. But you know what? You're not going to be picking Alexander Usyk, someone who moves so good. Honestly, you're not willing to pick that fighter because it's going to give you a lot of trouble. He knows that. So it's like, oh, I'll do the easy thing. In your daily life, when you find yourself in a situation where you have to pick an easiest task to do or bigger task, which takes a lot of time, you just find yourself gravitating towards like the easiest, simple task. It seems like that's exactly what Tyson Fury is doing. Oh, I call BS, I'm not going to fight Usyk, he'd probably beat me up, or it's going to make it harder. Do you know what I mean? And I'm ready to get beat up, so I'll just pick a fight with a heavyweight who's going to come out and start swinging, and he's going to miss, then I'm going to finish him in like the 5th round and get a lot of pay. Nah, mate, he's a joke. So smash the like button down below, ladies and gentlemen, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Peace.